Hey guys, welcome back. It's premiere time. Thanks everyone that is here for the live premiere. If you're not here for it, make sure to tune in. We do this every Friday. If you guys want to watch together, have the old chat. Again, my marketing is too strong and they were sold out of my beverage of choice. So we're switching it up again. Regardless, it's Rattle opinion time. Mostly just opinion because the information on this case is so damn confusing. Everyone who can should be charging back their purchases from Poke Japan. Saying that with pretty high confidence, mostly due to the fact that I'm still very much under the impression that you will never be getting the product you purchased. Never mind in a timely manner. I don't think you're getting it at all. It really isn't looking like it. If you guys missed it somehow, go back and watch the previous premiere on this. But if you're watching live or just don't feel like it, I have a recap for you. Here we go. Poke Japan, who was a company primarily flipping Japanese Pokemon card product, seemingly not much of a company, or they let on to be more of a company than they actually are. It's fair to say they sucked at what they did. Bad reviews galore. We had delayed shipping all over the place. Clearly another instance where probably selling things that they didn't actually have. That's a big no-no. People, for some reason, who start these Pokemon businesses, they're all under the impression that they shouldn't have inventory. They should be selling things that they have not yet obtained. It's like a drop shipping basically, but in this case, I think just so unorganized that it doesn't work when they're the ones that have to obtain it and then send it off. This company, Poke Japan, was showcased by and partnered with some YouTubers. Unfortunate for them. I don't think there was any ill intent with regards to the people that were either promoting or showing this stuff in their videos. It's tough. So please, again, guys, we don't need to absolutely slaughter them for this, as long as they're doing the right thing and hopefully helping the people that were affected get their money back. I think they should be still held in our good graces. This should be a learning lesson for everyone that is looking at taking partnerships. You got to be really careful when you do so. So as of recently, I guess into the new year, before the new year, they stopped shipping altogether. James, seemingly the ringleader, who we've taken a look at before, I think it's fair to say he is a hot mess. So a lot of the details that I've received don't make sense. We got to kind of connect the pieces, connect the puzzle here. I'm working on it, guys. We need to separate all his BS from his non-BS, and that could take some time. We need to use the words of everyone else in order to deform the actual story here, and where he contradicts himself or clearly overstates what's going on, we need to trim those bits out. It's not easy. So James has claimed that Will ran off with all the money. Based on what I know, I think it's more likely that James is the issue here. It seems like everyone seems to be pointing toward James being the issue. He's pointing at everyone else. With the DMs I've read, testimony I've heard from former employees and his family, he's given me the big time pathological liar vibes. James, if you'd like to reach out, if you'd like to talk to me about this, we can certainly discuss it. But I think it's just at the point that everything needs to be resolved here. Do whatever you got to do to send back the money for all of the purchases, regardless of whether people actually make a chargeback or not. You got to send back what you do. If the money is missing somehow, and that's when it's going to become more difficult, and that's when it gets into criminal territory. So hopefully it doesn't have to get to that. Hopefully everyone can just be refunded, whether they paid through the website, whether they paid through a method that was legitimate or safe. I think everyone needs to just get their money back, at least as much as possible. Last week, We talked to Garrett, who partnered with James and is seemingly out a bunch of money for V-Star Universe boxes that were never shipped to him. James claimed that Will stole all the money from the business. He was stuck in Taiwan with no money. James was stuck in Taiwan somehow. All the money was gone, was drained. So a little clarification from last time. Will is his brother-in-law, not his actual brother. So I think that's where the confusion came in. James was blaming Will, his brother-in-law, for running off with the money. His actual brother, Leo, was also involved in the business. Apparently, Leo was doing the majority of the actual work, from what I'm hearing, from the previous staff and family. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the DMs between James and another former employee / partner of his, Justin. For context, the DMs are from the falling out point. Justin says he wasn't paid for his work and was told to keep the graded cards instead. That'll make a little bit more sense later on when we talk to Justin. Once again, we got this absolutely deranged James nonsense that's coming out, that's being told. After we check out those DMs and do some funny accents, we're going to chat with former employee Justin. Hopefully we can help explain some of this mess. So buckle up, guys. This is a mess. This is certainly I don't know what you even want to call this, but hopefully everyone's all right. Hopefully everyone gets their money back, regardless of how much they spent. I think it's right. I think it might end up happening that way. Hopefully all the money isn't completely gone at this point. It seems like it might be. Otherwise, you would think there would be like a mass refund or shipping of any product that they actually obtained. I'm going to say that they probably didn't obtain a lot of these orders that were taken, but hopefully the money is at least frozen, tied up, that it can get back to its rightful owner. All right, before we get into that, Ligard, thank you very much for sending this to me on Discord. We have an account, Karate Kid 11, who it looks a whole lot like this is the James family, Poke Japan family here, where they started out, doing a little bit of selling on a Trade Me Marketplace for New Zealanders. So here's what we got. We already got some sad faces, some bad feedback here with I'm not happy. They're not sending the stuff 40 days since purchase. Item is Mia. A lot of like starting to get upset. So this account was, I don't know who was the original owner of the account, whether it was James or it was maybe his mom or something like that. But they had originally they were selling non-collectible things, and then it turned into like a Poke Japan sales mabob account. We can go in here. We can take a look. If you click on the nice little listing numbers here, we can take a look. So we have Pokemon SM8 Explosive Impact Booster Box. We can see like the date that these were posted. But more importantly, we got the description here that could tell us a few things. So we have, check out our other listings for more great deals, including exclusive Pokemon booster boxes, packs, and cards, Japanese Pokemon SM8 Booster Box Explosive Impact. This booster box contains 30 packs. Each pack contains 5 cards. Language, Japanese. Country of origin, Japan. Condition, brand new seal product. This is the only place in New Zealand you will find this being sold, and it's priced very low, so grab yourself a bargain. Please read through all of the information below before bidding or asking questions. Thank you. Our items were purchased new or used within the country or imported from Japan by our staff member who lives in Tokyo. So that's a little bit weird that they just have one staff member, but I guess this is back in 2021. So when they were starting out, keep this all in mind, because like the scale that we're at here is nothing even close to what James is letting on. So little preview. James likes to over exaggerate his businesses, if you want to call them that, and his I guess ability to do business, and this is kind of a little taste of that. So in 2021 we have this. So you would think in 2022 or 2023, barely 2023, that not much would change. With regards to shipping, please understand delays can happen. The item will usually get to you within 2 to 3 weeks, as it will be shipped from Japan due to COVID-19 restrictions. shipping times have been inconsistent, so we recommend making your order as soon as possible to ensure your order gets to you faster. In the event of courier pickup delay, we reschedule with couriers ASAP. Please keep in mind, once the parcel has been picked up, events are largely out of our control, but we do our best to sort out any issues. So you give them like a little bit of like the benefit of the doubt here that a lot of the stuff that was delayed could have been due to like restrictions, and the shipping process was like a nightmare back then. But I mean, at this point, they're just not even shipping anything. So we are in the beginnings of running a small family business, but we still work full time. So here, this is kind of the most important point here. So family run business, it seems like his mom was probably pretty involved. Him and his brother, all they're doing is importing and flipping Pokemon product. And it's kind of the same thing that they were doing with the Poke Japan website, etc. Please ensure you Google first for any spec related information before posting questions. Sorry for the extra reading. Happy bidding, smiley face. Please check our other listings for deals on a wide range of items. So this is back. I guess it was a little bit easier for them to obtain the stuff. Like less people were chasing the Japanese Pokemon cards, etc. And at this point, I guess they didn't really have any advertising. So there's the YouTube video where they, I guess I don't know if this one's removed now. We've seen so apparently, we got James, we got Will, and I'm assuming this is his sister here. I asked a few people for confirmation. We don't have a 100% confirmation on that, but that's kind of what we're dealing with here. We have Shiny Star V, we have SM10A, GGN booster boxes, Dragon Storm booster boxes, etc. So family business, seems like him, his brother, his mom, his sister, brother-in-law, they were flip dipping Pokemon cards. For a little bit of context here. So when you hear James claim that he wants to build hospitals and crap like that, it's a long shot from where he's at. Or what is he was going to build schools or something like that. It was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of like really pipe dreamy, claiming to be a super jillionaire, McShillionaire. His business was worth millions of dollars, 10 million or some crap. 20 million by the end of 2023. In the context, clearly all of that was complete butthole smoke. Okay, it is DM time. So we got Justin. We will use regular voice for Justin. And again, James will be the French evil cowboy / Dexter's Lab / whatever you guys want to call it. Let me know down below if I'm missing any sort of flavor that is part of that accent. So here we have Justin that says, also regarding payment, I would much rather prefer a set amount monthly. I will do the grading, the prices / adding products, and hopefully be the warehouse for English product. Once I am trained, I can work however many hours you need. I believe 3,000, I like the warehouse in quotations, so we'll find out more about that later. I believe $3,000 for grading / shipping, etc. is fair, and then anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 for myself. Again, I am getting paid monthly, so to wait that long for money for bills and such is difficult. Whatever amount you see as fair monthly is fine. I will continue to say this until I am blue in the face. I have no ill will towards you, nor do I want to steal or take any ideas from you. I just want to be a part of the Pokemon business in any aspect. I posted the 2 days you asked for, the schedule. Thanks. So you can see like there's like a big time like... These guys are just excited that they're working or can work on like a Pokemon card business and get in. And there's this like, James is like pushing this idea that like he's a million jillionaire and he's gonna like, these guys are gonna, this is their way in to like, to that. They want to join in. Justin says, hi, do you need me tonight? I need to know ASAP. Thanks. James says, hey, when are you free from now on? From now. Sorry, I had a really rough night. I can't read right now. Justin. Hey, I have a major family issue going on yesterday and today. It's been ongoing. Is it possible to send a tutorial or video on how to price? I can learn it pretty fast. I used Shopify before. I will be free later to look at it. Sorry for the inconvenience. Any updates on anything I said? Also, I don't think you realize the severity of the everything going on over here. I'm guarantee you it's a lot worse than what you're going through. So please just wait, and when I have time, I will respond. Please just listen to my orders and I will help you out. Bad things keep happening to me and the business when people don't follow my instructions and try to tell me what to do when I clearly know best. These bad things that are happening to are going to basically happen to them later. This is karma. And I strongly believe in this. This isn't a threat, and I won't directly do any harm to you. I will be in charge of a lot more than just broke in Japan and just my business. Trust me, I know best. I know everything that's going on in this world, and I will fix everything. Just listen to me do what I... Next page. Do what I say, and I will look after you for the rest of your life. Edited. Justin says, I understand the severity of the situation. I don't think you understand my situation, which is like many others. You tried preaching to me that you want to change the world and make it fair for others, yet you make so much money. You go to all these events for investors. You get to travel. Granted, I don't need not one of those things to make me happy. But I am realistic. Money is what pays the bills and keeps you afloat, sadly. Also, it very much sounds like a threat, and I will not risk my family for a job. I will receive all graded cards and send them to your company when able. So here, I guess he's offering to send the cards back, the cards that were purchased for the company. At the same time, wasn't compensated for, according to him, compensated for his actual work. Quotation, I know everything that's going on in this world and will fix everything. Just listen to me, do what I say, and I will look after you for the rest of your life. Sounds like either the most desperate attempt to keep someone ever or to try to strike fear into someone. I am no one's slave. I will work for leaders, not bosses. So again, unless you are paying me a set amount, which I now want quicker and more of, I will no longer be able to work for you. It seems too dangerous and too mentally difficult. If you truly are in pain or need to talk, you can leave the messages here or find someone else that you actually trust. Thanks you. So you've run off with my money too? Wow, thanks and good luck. You're going to need it. Justin says, I said I did not. Okay. You need help. I will need the address of your mailbox. I will send all cards to you. No, LOL. I'm good. I will just do everything myself because no one wants to help me. I trusted you, but I guess you seem like everyone else. I am by it like everyone. I am not like everyone else. I'm trying to give you what you spent money on back. I don't understand why that's so difficult to understand. I want nothing to do with this anymore. You are attacking me for no reason other than trying to help and ask for more money because I would be working more and I have bills. So again, I will send you your money back once I receive it from CGC. Plain and simple. I just need an address to send to. So pretty crazy. I don't know. He's just like trying to send stuff back. James is like doesn't want to, but he wants to also claim at the same time that he's like stealing from him. Not paid for what he was doing. It's a whole mess. So unfortunate for the people that purchased from the Poke Japan website, but also unfortunate for the people that were committed to working for them as well. It seems the whole thing is an absolute disaster. So to finish out the video tonight, we're gonna have a little conversation. We're gonna hear the story from Justin right now. Take it away. If you just want to go through like kind of like your involvement, like I guess what happened, I guess if we can go somewhat in chronological order, your experience, what you saw and how it ended up, and then maybe we can go into if there's anything that I got wrong in the previous videos or there's some stuff that we can clear up, like about Will, who was apparently not his brother. So I don't know if that was just that Garrett misunderstood
Yeah.
that, or if he actually like referred to Will as his brother, or he thought they were one and the
I
same
mean,
person.
he was pretty close. He was his brother-in-law.
Okay, so then maybe that's what
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
yeah, he
Um.
was his brother-in-law. I'm trying to get the pictures up, or at least the app, because I still have the Slack downloaded.
Okay.
And he hasn't been on it. It says here like he hasn't been on it for like 30 days, 29 to be exact.
Oh, James hasn't.
Yeah, James. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Um. Oh, the messages aren't. Oh
Yeah.
no, wait. They're not here. They're
And
this
then
way.
like his actual brother, who apparently he was telling Garrett that he had run away with the money.
Yeah,
But then also it kind of lines up where you were saying that he was, where was he? And
I won.
he was in Taiwan or something like that. But and he had no
Yes.
money and that kind of stuff. So we can go into the detail on that. And then
Yes.
also through what I'm hearing, like his family was saying that he was recently in a mental hospital, and now
Yes.
he's
I mean,
supposedly
this
like he's
is.
claiming that he's gonna fly back to Japan and make everything right, but
I don't. Okay,
didn't
so
get on a flight because there was a flood. This is like, I don't
it's
understand. Like there's clearly like I think a lot of it has to do with like he's probably not telling the truth, and then like the stories get all kind of mixed up.
it's
And
either it's either he's not telling the truth, or I mean, if he is, then I'm he's got something of an issue, I guess, or something. But
yeah, maybe.
um, so I actually started like mid-November, right? It was around like when Paradigm Trigger released,
Okay.
and at the time there was about nine. I'm gonna say 9 to 12 people because I'm not entirely sure how many exactly, but it was in that range. Now the weird thing was is that there was people in India, Taiwan, Japan, and then I was gonna be like I was the first to be like based in the United States, right? Like what
Hmm.
his goal seemed like was to like make a United States version of Poke Japan. Um, and I guess myself and Garrett were the first two like members of that little uh, group. Um, so for like the first like 2 weeks or so or whatever, we mainly just talked. We had like team meetings and everything. Um, and everybody who I met, like in the group and everything, everybody was nice, including James when it first started out. He was a very, chill dude around people, right? Um, so yeah, it was like, I guess for me, it was like a dream come true because I started in the Pokemon business, I guess. Like it was supposed to be just a part-time job you know, that I wanted. But so, I think like I told you, my position was basically just to find like raw cards, right? Like he wanted me to travel to card shops, card shows, I guess shop online, stuff like that to find cards that were gradable quality, right? He
Hmm. I
wanted
think he
only
mentioned
eight.
something in the Garrett DMs that he was looking to do like grading and stuff like that. So I guess
Yeah,
that leads into that.
yeah, exactly. Like yeah, he wanted me to find all these cards, um, and then when I have them all, like a good batch, right? He wanted like 25 to 30 cards. I send them off to get graded, right? So, um, the agreement was to have me get monthly, right? Myself, I was going to get $2,500 a month, right? Because it wasn't just the graded cards. For the first 2 weeks, it was, but then for the next 2 weeks, what he wanted to do, right? It never came to this, but what he wanted me to do was use my house, right? It's a big house. It's 3 floors, basement, like first floor, and then third floor. Um, he wanted me to use it as a kind of like storage unit slash distribution site for America, right? Like all the English sealed products, right? Because he swore he had an English distributor as a friend that he was already working with. So they just needed a location. He didn't want to buy an office space or anything like that. So he wanted to use me. So I said, that's fine as long as you pay me for it because I'm not about to, you know, space
Fill
up my room.
fill your house with boxes
Yeah,
and
you
yeah.
know. Um, but again, at the time I was a one man show. I was doing that, and then uh, Yeah, so it was the graded cards, and then my house has distribution. So in the first month, right? Like I'm not gonna lie, the first month everything was, it was just a normal job. So from like mid-November to like mid-December, it was just a chill job, right? But I didn't get paid, right? So I did get the 2,500 for the graded cards. I did my job and everything, blah blah blah. But anyways, so mid-November comes along, and that's when you got those screenshots that I sent you, right?
Okay, yeah, I read through those.
Basically, what had happened before those screenshots happened, he had me in for a meeting. It was just me and him, right? And I didn't know what the hell was going on because normally it's like the 10 of us. And this meeting was literally 5 hours long of him talking about his life. The first like 10 minutes was he was telling me how he had a fight with his brother-in-law over the job, right? And that he ran away with the money, and that he had to fire him, and then on top of him, it was like 3 or 4 other people that worked for him that he also fired. Now, I think by this point, it's just me, James. There was the person in Taiwan, and then the 2 people who were in India, right?
Hmm. Was his
So
so how involved was his actual brother?
he was like the operations manager.
Okay.
He was the operations manager. He was the one who basically found like did all the products, right?
Hmm.
They didn't go through a distributor. They literally bought everything from Amazon, right, or from other sellers, and then resold it. That's
Yeah,
what they did. Um,
sort of drop shipping or like
yeah, exactly. It
probably
was
only purchase the stuff
uh,
after they actually make the sales, or
exactly,
okay.
yes. Um, so yeah, so he also ran the website. Uh, he also did the shipping process. He did almost everything. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know what James swore he was doing things, right? Like he
Mm.
was telling me like he did all this shit, but then he would explain like what everybody else was doing, and I was like, okay, so then I don't know what you're doing. Um, but yeah, so he left. So James then hits me up, right? And during the meeting, he tells me he also wants me to run the website, right? So I said, okay, that's fine. But again, I'm gonna want more money and everything. Um, the conversation started about that, the money and everything, and we came to an agreement that he was gonna actually give me more than 2,500. He was gonna give me 3,500 a month, including it was gonna be it was almost 10 grand a month that he was gonna give me, right? 3,500 for myself, and then the other like 5 grand he wanted me to have for like grading cards. Like he wanted me to start doing this full time,
Hmm.
committed to this business, everything, yada yada yada. So during the conversation, this is when he brings up different things random. He started off with his parents. I remember he said his parents cut him off when he turned 18 because when he turned 18, he didn't go to college. He said he wanted to go straight into the field of entrepreneurship, like have his
Hmm.
own businesses, startups, etc. Now, it didn't make sense to me, but he told me he had 80 startups, 80, yeah, 80
I've heard of some
businesses.
of them, but I don't know. 80 sounds a
Yeah,
little.
and and I was like, at first I was like 80 or 8, right? And he goes, no, 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 80. And then he shows me a list of all of them, and I'm like, what? Like that can't be right. He goes,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're all successful. And I was like, that. It was weird. It was literally, and it's the most random shit. Their shoes, clothing, shirts, Pokemon cards, snacks, like boxes, even boxes, right? Like some office supplies. Uh, he had, I mean, it was just like he had a drop bar, like of all the
Was it like
different
actual
things.
business names, or it was just different items that he was
It
claiming to?
was, it was, I guess it might have been different items that he was claiming to, but I mean, like he brought up the Poke Japan website as one of the
Hmm.
businesses, the shoe business that's supposed to be his most successful business.
Yeah.
Um, But
Now,
yeah,
did he say anything about that? Because Garrett mentioned that he was upset because he couldn't get funding for the shoe business, but he was counting that as
yes.
one of his successful businesses.
Yeah. So so the reason he was on Taiwan was because of that.
Mm.
He said he was on an investors meeting. He got into this rich club, right? Where these people, they go around and they talk about their businesses. And then the other rich people, they give money investing into those companies and stuff. So he said he had like a few guys lined up for him for his shoe business, specifically his shoe business. And um, yeah, and I guess, and I assume nobody invested, honestly. Because at one point, like later down the road, when I got those graded cards back and everything, um, he tried asking for them back, right? And I said I was going to send it to him. I didn't send it to him because he never paid me, right? And he also told me to keep them anyway. So I said, okay, fine, whatever. Um, and yeah, and that was the last message I sent you,
Okay.
where he says to keep them. So I was like, okay, and I haven't heard from him since. Um, but yeah, so he was in Taiwan for that reason, for the investment money to
Okay.
fund his shoe business. Yeah.
But then he somehow ended up with no money while he was there or something.
Yes. So what Garrett said was that he got stuck in Taiwan because his brother, well, his brother-in-law, took the money and ran, right?
Hmm.
Which I guess kind of lines up because he was asking for the graded cards, I assume, to sell to get out of Taiwan.
Okay.
Um, so I assume that was the reason he wanted him back. Um, so yeah, so I guess he didn't have any money and he just wanted to get the hell out of Taiwan or something. Um, but after a while, I don't know, man. After a while, it just seemed like he was a criminal on the run. It seemed like he was the one already running with the money.
Yeah.
Um, because like he from Taiwan, he was supposed to go to India. Then from India, he was supposed to go to the Silicon Valley, right? And then from there to New York, and then he was going to stay in New York until his businesses start to pick up in America and succeed or whatever. And I was like, dude, none of this shit makes sense. Like it was like the more I
The,
worked there,
the more it didn't
the
make sense.
more
Like the more I
yeah,
hear any story about this, I'm just like,
yes,
what? Like either this guy is like just the biggest like pathological liar. Like he just like needs to exaggerate everything. Like why do you have to tell people you have 80 businesses that are successful when you clearly
it's
don't?
just weird.
Like
None of it
like
none
don't
of it
even like
lined
not
up.
even make up like a believable lie.
I
Like
know.
just say 80.
Right. Like none of it made sense. I don't know. This guy, and it just seemed his mental state was a little off.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, during that 5 hour meeting, um, yeah, like he told me his parents cut him off at a young age, right? It affected him for like a long time. By the way, he's like I believe he's 27 years old or 28 years old, something like that. So he's relatively young. Um, but anyways, so he hasn't spoken to his parents since. Supposedly his sister attempted suicide at one point, and he had to take care of her when she came back from the mental institute that he said she was in. And then she left, right? Like she also left,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was pissed off about it. They had a big falling out over it because he thought that she owed him, right, for taking care of her, and
Yeah.
whatever. So it also affected him mentally. Um,
This is like some kind
right,
of
and
weird like plot twist because I'm hearing that James was the one that was recently in the like mental institute,
I don't know
and
who
that was
said that. I
like
mean,
apparently and then he was back like
recently,
with his recently like with his family, and that he was claiming that he was gonna go back to Japan to fix things.
I
So like it seems
don't
like
know.
I have no idea. It's like some kind of crazy like plot twist
Yeah.
movie where we can't tell exactly what's going on because all of it is just like compounding lies and
Yes.
it,
I feel like how do I say this? Like it's all true except the person it's about might be
a
might be
different
the
person.
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a lie in each story. So I don't know, because again, Garrett said that it was the brother that ran off. I think it was James that ran off. Somebody saying that he was in a mental institute. He told me his
Hmm.
sister was in a mental institute. So I mean, it kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
This
but
guy
that
was,
wasn't necessarily, that was more coming from James than it was coming from Garrett. That's just what Garrett was told, I think, from James.
oh,
So it could have been just
gotcha.
James that kind of projecting the other stuff. Like
Yeah,
if he was in some kind of psych ward or something, like maybe he's like saying that his sister was that, but it was him the whole time. I have I don't know. We still got to figure out some loose ends here, and like hopefully whatever it is, like man, I don't know how do you know of like anyone else that was not paid
no.
for like
At,
either their
at
work or that put money into it that would have
okay,
like
at the end, at the very end, like the very last day, like the
mhm,
screenshots that I sent you, I know for a fact it was myself, it was Garrett, it was James, and it had to have been those people in India. Um,
mhm,
because like 2 days before the last meeting, he was talking about them, how like they run security for his site and stuff like that. So I assume there was five of us left. Now before me, he did say that there was somebody who ran off with money, right, in the United States, right. Um, but then again, he tells Garrett the same thing, that right before me, he said last year, which was 2021,
mhm,
right? That somebody ran off with his money, right, for the graded cards, right? Like he's tried to do this before, right? So then when I left, Garrett tells me that he said last month somebody ran off with the money, right, and never paid it back, which I assume he's talking about me in that, right? I never ran
yeah.
off with. He told me to take it. Um, which I don't know if he made a mistake by saying that, or if that's another lie, right? To have two people run off with the money.
Well, it seems like
Um,
everyone apparently is
yeah,
running off, but
yeah, and his brother-in-law is running off with the money. Yeah, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Um, but yeah. Now here's the thing. When I was trying to say, like, I was telling Garrett, and I told another friend of mine, right? When I was telling, people think that it's only in the low thousands for what he owes, right? He
mhm.
was showing me the numbers on the website, and I'm talking about this is dating back to like months ago. I'm not even saying November. I'm
I've like
talking about maybe
yeah, there was orders like I was seeing stuff where it was like sets prior to like V Star Universe where stuff was like
yes,
either like mega delayed or just never went out.
yes, it was. I forget the set name, but it was in the summertime of 2022. It was a set that came out, and from that point on to V Star
Hmm.
is when the delays and like the no shows or the whatever started happening. And I'm talking like he told me at one point that he owed $75,000 to buyers because he never sent it out and he never paid them back. Right. This was all during that 5 hour meeting. Like he was trying to explain to me how the website worked and everything. It was on that website, Pirate something. Uh, um, so yeah, he had he had thousands of dollars that were just owed. It showed minus whatever, and it was insane.
And that was all
Um,
prior to like where the like website was up and it was just taking orders for V Star Universe.
yes,
Because Garrett
exactly. It
said
was
that
still
like
taking
he had
orders.
mentioned it was like 10 grand in a single day, and that wasn't even like the
It,
initial day or anything like that. So if it was like 10 grand times however many days it was available,
that's what I mean.
it
I
could be just an
again, like it
insane
was
amount of
like in a
money.
1 week span. In a 1 week span, I
Mm-hmm.
remember it was like 75K, and he was explaining to me how he had to get that shit out ASAP, right? Or, you know, he's gonna get in trouble because again, at this point, he's by himself with the website and I guess the distribution in Japan. Um, I guess around the world, to be honest, because I had no access to anything, right? That's why he wanted me to start running the website. Um, so yeah, and then after that 5 hour meeting is when I sent that long message about how I should get paid more and yada yada yada. And then I think it took like 3 days after that for him to actually respond, um, or 2 days, whatever it was. And then that's when he said like I didn't realize the severity of situation. He just started. The moment he said this line where he says, where is it? This is not a threat. I will take care of your family. I was like, all right, yeah, I gotta back out from this. Like, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, this is just weird, dude.
Yeah, it's just a sinking ship, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
hopefully, I mean, I'm sure there's people that are just going like forget about the order or whatever. So hopefully, there's something that can be done in terms of just like reversing all the transactions, and it not end up being like a criminal thing. But
I
I
mean,
don't know.
and what I was telling Garrett was, I honestly think this is gonna be a criminal thing because this is like,
Yeah.
this guy owes a lot of money, dude. And then I didn't even talk to you about the he had a thing. I'm pretty sure this is a scam where he said he was gonna make schools and hospitals in other countries.
Oh yeah. There's no
Um,
way. I mean, that's like I
yeah,
have 800 businesses and I'm making schools and hospitals and
yeah, that was his goal. He kept saying over and over again, right? That he knew people in the government, in different governments, and he knew how the different governments of the world worked. And that one day he's going to change the world for the better, right? He's going to start with making schools and hospitals in third world countries, right? That's why he's trying to make it as many businesses successful as possible, so then he can have as much money to, expand and help people and everything. He had like a, I don't know, like
yeah, there was something else too that it was similar to that. He was just like this huge charitable dude, and he was gonna build all this stuff, and I don't know,
yeah,
man. Meanwhile, he's not
yeah.
sending anything out, and
None of this made sense. I'm not gonna lie, because he even told me the last message he says was, no, I'm good. You can keep the cards, right? The graded cards. Like,
yeah,
I offered to, like, I wanted nothing to do with this. I was gonna send it all to him and then, move on with my life or whatever, you know. Um,
yeah. So
he
did
told me to
they?
keep it. Like,
So it's just that you weren't paid for like the previous stuff, so we told you to keep the cards and as a form of
yeah, so
payment.
I guess it was a way to keep my mouth shut or something, but you know, because I mean, I resold it for the same amount, so I guess that cuts 1 month, um, which I guess is fine. Um, but again, this is more about like the reason I'm trying to, I guess, spread awareness is because of what I saw. Like, he's he stole. I mean, he just stole all that money and product, I guess, from a lot of
Yeah.
people, including Garrett.
Is there any indication of like how this, so like the accounts are just like they were already in peril before and there wasn't enough product to go out to actually satisfy the orders?
No, no, no. He had the product. No, because I've seen it. I've seen. I mean, unless it was something else in the boxes, he had hundreds of boxes like lined up against the wall, like during the meetings. And every now and then he'd open it and then he'd take out cards or a booster box or something or whatever.
Okay.
So I've seen the boxes. I don't know
It
exactly what
wasn't,
were in them.
it's possible that it was just like a fraction of that and
I mean,
like
it
whatever that,
could be.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I never saw V Star Universe. If that's what
Okay.
you're asking, I
Yeah.
saw
The
the
previous
last
sets.
box I saw was Paradigm
Paradigm
Trigger.
trigger. Yeah.
Yes, that was the last thing I saw. He started focusing more on like raw cards too. Like he had a lot of inventory of like raw Japanese cards coming in. Like he
How?
prioritized what's his name? Unlisted Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
They had a partnership, right?
Yeah. So what did
So
he send like product to Unlisted Leaf and then he would
yeah,
promote them on the channel and
yes, exactly. Like he would have like random mystery boxes sent off to him. He At one point he wanted me to find YouTubers' addresses, like famous YouTubers, right?
yeah.
And then send it to him so he could send them stuff as well, so they could promote it or whatever.
Yeah,
Uh,
even if they don't promote it, which is kind of like the extra sketchy bit, if they're not partnered, then a company like this could send a product to them, hope they make a video, say the name of the like website or mystery box or whatever, and then people go and buy it. So we've kind of seen that, like, even though Rev purposely doesn't partner with anyone like that, but at the same time, if you're opening it, like, they're going to get a boost in sales or whatever, because just the sheer amount of people that are watching, like, someone's bound to go over there and purchase it. So
I think that's where
it's a
most
little
of
sketchy.
that's how I found the job. I didn't even know about this site until Unlisted Leaf posted a video. So I went on the site, and then on the bottom it said now
Apply here or
hiring.
whatever.
Yeah, apply here. Yeah. So that's the only reason I found it. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the revenue came from Unlisted Leaf. To be honest, I'm not even gonna lie. He always said like that business was the #1 Japanese Pokemon card business in Japan.
Is that
Right?
is that what he got told though?
Yeah,
Probably.
that's literally what he
Yeah.
said every
That's the thing
freaking
too.
time.
Like, there's several creators that were kind of sponsored with them, and it's a shame because, man, there's a lot of, like, not necessarily the big YouTubers, but YouTubers in general could just, like, it's an awesome partnership if it does happen, but at the same time, like, it sucks so bad that you have to be extra cautious with this stuff, because all of a sudden it flips and, like, they do something wrong and it looks bad on the YouTubers. And I don't necessarily blame the YouTubers, because if they didn't dig deep enough to find out that, like, hey, maybe something could go wrong, or maybe this is shady, because on the outside it looks
Yeah.
decent until you, like, really dig and see the reviews and stuff like that. Did he mention anything to you about the reviews, about them being
Yeah.
all the negative reviews?
No, he never said anything about that. The only bad thing he ever said was what I said earlier, where he had a lot of people request refunds, right? And that he owed a lot of money in product to different people. Like, that's all he ever said that was ever, like, bad about his business or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, Unlisted Leaf. I'm pretty sure never knew anything about this, because I mean,
No,
this
there's
is
no
like,
there's no way that you would, like,
there's no.
sabotage yourself, because yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because it was like the way James sounded when he was talking about him was like it was like his prized possession. Like he protected that at all costs. I assume that was like the last like, last draw or whatever. Like when they
was
broke
that like an
partnership.
was that like an exit strategy, do you think? Was it like a drive as
Honestly,
many sales as possible and then take
it
off?
could be. That's what I was telling
Because it's
Garrett
weird
this,
that,
right?
like, you would get a huge partnership, and then all of a sudden, like, that's when everything goes wrong and you bail.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is like, I don't think this was his business. I think this was his brother-in-law's business, right? And then he came into it, right? I guess the brother-in-law thought he was good with money or whatever, or selling. Um, and I assume he brought him in. And then James, I guess, took over or at one point or whatever, and decided he wanted to fund his other businesses, right? Specifically a shoe business, because it was always about that, man. Like, he always said how
Yeah, the
successful it
sneakers.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always about the shoes, dude. Um, so I think it was like everybody else was catching on, and they were like, all right, we don't want to be a part of this. And then like they broke off and everything, right? And then I guess James, what he wanted to do was push them out, and then have like me and Garrett come in, ready to comply. We wanted to have a job or whatever. Um, and then teach us shit, right? Because we don't know that he's scamming. We don't know that he's doing anything wrong or whatever, right? Like, I guess we caught it a little too late, but it just seemed like he wanted to take all the money, right, from this specific business, the Poke Japan one. I don't know about the other ones, but he wanted to take all the money from this and then just run and fund his other businesses. Like,
Yeah.
all of it to me adds up, honestly.
I mean,
So
the timing is kind of weird, but
yeah,
whether or not it was just kind of all gonna fall down at some point anyway, and then it just happened to be at the same time that you get a boost in promotion and all these like crazy
Well,
amount of
well,
sales.
no. I think he had unlisted Leafs help for like a year or something.
Was it?
You know? Yeah. I think he had his help for a year, um, and then I guess I don't. I mean, I assume they broke it off. A bunch of people told me
Hmm.
that they broke it off. Um, so I think that like everybody leaving, then I left, then Garrett left, then unlisted leaf cut it off, and then he shut down the website, right?
Hmm.
Um, you know, yeah. I mean, it just looks like
Yeah,
you
I
know,
don't even know if it was him that shut off the website though either.
yeah. You don't even know because honestly, it could be his brother-in-law because again his
Hmm.
brother-in-law is the one who ran the website specifically.
Yeah,
So, but
definitely.
yeah,
Damn. All right. Well, we'll try and get to the bottom of it. Hopefully, there's just like some kind of resolution where most, if not all, people just get their money back. And
I hope so.
I mean,
Like
and
I didn't.
hopefully, most of the transactions that went through the website were like PayPal related or credit card related that people can actually charge back. And hopefully, those people that actually purchase something either see
Yeah,
the
that
video
I
or
hope.
like know enough to like to get their money back. But
Yeah, I never saw that part,
mhm.
unfortunately, so I can't really answer that. Um, but yeah, this guy again. I mean, I'm sorry to like everybody, I guess, who unfortunately put money into this, but this is like, it's thousands of dollars that are missing,
Yeah. Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
for
money
sure.
that's missing. So I mean, it's bad.
Even the amount of people that just like forget about it or don't realize that they should file a chargeback or whatever is like probably still an insane amount of money. And whether or
Yeah,
not that like comes in through the bank and then they have to, if the bank has to go after them,
I
then
don't know how they're gonna find him. I mean, it seems like he has access to travel, so
yeah, it's hard to say. I'm sure there's some sort of international fraud department that can go
I
hang out with
hope so.
him wherever he is. But anyway, thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah. Thank you for spreading awareness.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully this is getting more and more clear. Hopefully you guys like this process of trying to figure out whatever this puzzle is exactly. But I can assure you there's more to come. There's still people to talk to. There's still a resolution that needs to be made here, and hopefully we can get towards that. So this is not the end of the series, but at least we're making progress, continuous progress on this, trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and hopefully get everyone their money back. Hopefully it serves as a great learning lesson for everyone. Remember, everybody, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. You got to be looking for these signs, even if you think it's something that's like a good decision. You just take a step back and kind of really look at this stuff. There's definitely warning signs all over the place, whether you were going to be an employee, whether you're going to partner with them, whether you're going to make a video about whatever product and crap that they're selling. You gotta just dig a little, but unfortunate situation for sure. Look after each other out there, guys. Join the Discord and I'll see you next time. Bye.
How do you know so much about Pokemon? I bet you are in the Rattle Pokemon Discord, aren't you?